With so much marble in the mountains around Carrara, we see huge blocks of it awaiting transportation, and it's used locally on bridges and park fountains in small towns in the area. Tuscany in central Italy is famous for its landscapes, history and artistic legacy, and is regarded as the birthplace of the Italian Renaissance. Montesi, with its lovely views across the countryside to San Gimignano, is a family-run B&B and working vineyard, and our home for 5 nights. UNESCO-listed San Gimignano sits on a hilltop surrounded by 12th and 13th century walls. 8 entrances through the walls access the town's 4 squares. Its skyline is dominated by 14 towers, all that remain of the 72 tower houses built by patrician families at the height of its glory around 1300. Torre Grossa, built in 1310, is the tallest tower at 54 metres. This is the town's ancient water well, built in 1287 in the central Piazza della Cisterna. Siena, said to have been founded by Senius, son of Remus, one of the two legendary founders of Rome, sits over 3 hills with its huge central Piazza del Campo where the old Roman Forum used to be. The famous paleo horse races run here twice each summer. Built between 1297 and 1310 and still housing the city's municipal offices, the Campo is dominated by the red Palazzo Pubblica and its tower Torre del Mangia. Impruneta is known for its terracotta production. The old Etruscan town of Arezzo, with its dominant cathedral spire, sits on this steep hill overlooking the Riverano Valley. The walled town of Volterra also dates back to Etruscan times at the end of the 4th century BC. This is the 13th century Palazzo dei Priori, the oldest town hall in Tuscany, with its Torre del Porcellino, or Tower of the Piglet. Tuscany region of central Tuscany is characterised by rolling grassy landscapes such as these and exposed outcrops of white clay. Montepulciano is a medieval and Renaissance town built on a 600-metre-high limestone ridge. According to legend, it was founded by an Etruscan king, but it dates back to the 4th century BC. It was a garrison in Roman times, but by the end of the 16th century it had reached its highest splendour under the powerful Medici family. Surrounded by vineyards, it's known for its Vino Nobile red wine. The lions on the architrave of this well in the Piazza Grande hold the crest of the Medici family. This is the Pulcinella clock tower. Pulcinella was a classical puppet character from 17th century Naples, a forerunner of the puppet punch. This reproduction of a statue of a horse, for which Leonardo da Vinci was originally commissioned in 1482, was installed here in Montepulciano in 2017, 535 years later. Pienza, originally Corsignano, was first mentioned in documents from the 9th century. Around 1300, parts of the village became property of the Piccolomini family, and in 1405 a near Piccolomini was born. After he became Pope Pius II in 1458, he had the whole village rebuilt as an ideal Renaissance town and renamed it after himself Pienza, meaning City of Pius. It's the only Renaissance town centre in Italy to have survived intact over the centuries. The Piccolomini Palace was Pius's summer residence and overlooks the main square along with the cathedral and town hall. village of Bagno Vignoni was on the Via Francigena, the ancient pilgrim route to Rome. This 16th century pool in the centre of the village fills from an underground volcanic aquifer with hot sulphurous water at 52 degrees. Channels take the overflow from the pool over the cliff edge, leaving travertine deposits and caves below. Assisi is a hill town in Umbria, the birthplace of St. Francis, one of Italy's patron saints. The town's reached by a series of lifts and escalators. The Basilica of St. Francis is a massive two-level church consecrated in 1253 with 13th century frescoes portraying St. Francis's life. His stone sarcophagus is housed in the crypt. It's one of the most important places of Christian pilgrimage in Italy. Fortified ancient hill towns are dotted all through this countryside. So many towns to explore, so little time.